Have you ever been curious how to add your Linux Mint system to a domain? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to add Linux Mint to a Windows domain. Much like most fun processes in Linux, we're going to start by opening the terminal and typing in sudo apt-update and hitting enter. After your package update completes, you're going to enter in the following command: sudo apt install realmd sssd space sssd-tools space samba-common space krb5-user space adcli, and you'll hit enter. The commands in this video will be in the description. You may be prompted. Hit Y to continue. You'll eventually get a pop-up as shown on the screen. Let's go over to our domain controller now and gather the information. Open up command prompt as admin. Enter in ipconfig space /all. Under the primary DNS suffix, you'll notice the name of the domain controller .local, .com, .org, whatever you have configured on your domain controller. This is the realm information you need to add onto your Linux Mint system. Linux is case sensitive, so if it's all capitalized here, enter it all capitalized in the realm on the Kerberos configuration page in Linux Mint. Once entered, hit OK in your command box by typing tab, selecting OK, and hitting enter. The next prompt is going to ask you for the server names of your domain controllers. If you're in a setup with a PDC-BDC setup, you would put your primary domain controller first, space the secondary domain controller. Once again, this is case sensitive. Make sure you enter the name as it's shown in your actual server configuration. We could see this configuration once again under ipconfig all listed as your host name of your primary domain controller. If you need to find the additional domain controllers and you're not sure what they are, you could simply do an NS lookup to the gts-ytd.local or whatever your primary DNS suffix is. For instance, if we do NS lookup gts-ytd, again, following the gts-ytd primary DNS suffix, we're going to get the single IP address of the domain controller, which we could check against here where we see the single IP address of the domain controller. You'll note there's an error here. This is due to a bug in server 2016 through current where IPv6 does not configure correctly in your DNS configuration or your local network adapter. Easily fixed. We could cover that at a later date. Once you have entered the name of your domain controller into the box under the Kerberos servers for your realm, you'll hit the tab key on the keyboard, select OK, and hit enter. Under the next screen, you're going to notice that it's going to ask you to enter the host name of the administrative password changing server for the gts-ytd.local Kerberos realm. Generally speaking, you're going to add only your primary domain controller in here. This is going to be the server that houses your FSMO roles. Open up a command prompt as admin on your Windows server. Enter in netdom space query space FSMO or FSMO and hit enter. This is going to pull back the holder of your FSMO roles. This is your primary domain controller. Note, Linux was designed before there was a PDC-BDC configuration change. In the later versions of the server infrastructures, everything is a global catalog holder. However, when Linux was originally written for use with Windows, there was a primary and a secondary domain controller. Now, a FSMO holder is technically the primary domain controller. However, all systems are global catalog holders. As you can enter more than one server into the configuration on your Linux Mint system, it's important to note that there is a delay in replication on Windows. Doing this could cause a lockout. As such, I would suggest only adding the FSMO role holder into your configuration on your Linux system. Enter in your configuration as shown, making sure you use case sensitivity for your server name, and then your domain DNS suffix as shown, which is tgo-ad01 gts-ytd.local. Your configuration will vary based off of how your DNS is configured on your server. Your default DNS configuration will be as shown or something similar, where you're going to see the actual server name as an A record pointed to the IP. However, you're going to see the SOA or sort of authority as the TGO or tgoad01 gtsytd.local. You're going to also see the name server as tgoad01.gtsytd.local. You'll note that in the configuration on the desktop side or in your NS lookup, it is all capital. However, inside of your DNS configuration, it is all lowercase. You want to match your IP configuration table configuration and not what you see in the DNS. You're going to also want to match whatever your name server is listed as versus just your A record. I've found that in Linux, using the name server configuration is almost 100% guaranteed to work all the time, where just using the A record may fail randomly at impromptu times. Once you have your data entered, hit the Tab key, choose OK, and hit Enter. This will finalize the installation of your package. Now on Linux Mint, it differs slightly from Ubuntu and other Debian-based systems. You see, with Linux Mint, if we NS look up the actual domain of gtsytd.local and hit Enter, we're going to see a failure. And we'll see that the server address comes back as 127.0.0.53. This is because Linux Mint has a built-in proxy service to filter DNS results inbound. This means that even if you set the static IP address to use a static DNS, it will still use the 127.0.0.53 address. This doesn't work correctly when you want to add Linux Mint to a domain. Much like in Windows, you could further troubleshoot this by defining the actual DNS server you'd like to use. For instance, nslookup gtsytd.local space 192.168.202.201, which is our domain controller. Now if I hit Enter, this will resolve correctly, showing the correct gtsytd.local. This means we're going to have to modify the configuration file that is used for DNS. To do this, simply type in sudo space nano space /etc/systemd/ resolved.conf and hit Enter. This is going to open up the Nano configuration. Keep in mind, mine has been modified already to save you on hearing all the clicks. However, the information entered should look similar on your configuration as what we have here. As you can see, we have DNS. There is no space between equals, pointing directly to our IP address. If you have more than one IP address for your DNS, you could simply do DNS equal the IP address space the next IP address. Next, you'll want to comment out or remove the hashtag from the beginning of the actual data. As you can see, when there is a hashtag, it changes it between the green and the white. You'll want to remove it under domains and change domains to equal whatever your local domain is or the domain you're trying to join with your system. Once you've completed this, hit Control X on your keyboard. Click the Y key to save it and then hit Enter to write it over the data that pre-existed. Next, restart the service. To do that, it's simply sudo space systemctl space restart space systemd-resolved and hit Enter. This will force the service to restart. Finally, you could check the status of your service by doing resolve, resolvectl space status and hitting Enter. As we can see, we now have the gtsytd.local domain entered as our DNS domain, and our DNS server set as 192.168.202.201. Once you have this entered and the information looks correctly, test it by typing in nslookup space gtsytd.local. Hit the Enter on the keyboard and it'll show you the output. Note that we have a non-authoritative answer now as gtsytd.local pointing to 192.168.202.201. We're still using our root configuration for our proxy-based DNS for security. Next, we want to double check our Kerberos configuration that we configured through the installation process. To do that, we're going to open the Nano command and open the krb5.config file. Simply put, this is the Kerberos config file. To open this, it's sudo space nano space /etc/krb5.conf and hit Enter on the keyboard. From here, we could see our default realm as gtsytd.local. We could see our KDC, or our primary domain controller in the case of Windows, or PDC on Windows, KDC is just the Kerberos domain controller. It is where we're going to authenticate to, as set as TGO8001, at which point we have confirmed our configuration is set up right. We can hit Control X to close out of our Kerberos configuration. Next, we want to see if we could discover the realm itself by entering in the following command: sudo space realm, R-E-A-L-M, space discover, space gtsytd.local, and hit enter. If this is working correct for you, it should show that the server software is Active Directory. Back on your Windows server, confirm what your username is to log into your server. To do that, simply type in QUser, hit enter, and we'll see the username on the console currently is administrator. Hey guys, I'm gonna butt in on myself real quick. This works differently than it does in Windows, and as such, I would strongly suggest using a service account here versus using the administrator account. Okay, back to the video. It's now time to join the domain with your Linux Mint system. To do that, use the following command: sudo space realm space join space -- user equals, no space in between the equal sign, the username that you use to log into your system. Keep in mind the username is case sensitive in Linux. So if your username is funky and doesn't have a capital letter at the beginning, don't use a capital letter at the beginning of your username configuration in Linux Mint. Next, do a space and then your domain. In our case, it's gtsytd.local. At this point, hit enter on your keyboard. You will be prompted for the password for the administrator account. This is the administrator account on Windows itself. Once you enter your password, hit enter. If there are no other additional dialogues displayed, it means the system has now been joined to the domain. Next, let's check the config file and make sure everything looks right. To do that, type in sudo space nano space /etc/etc/sssd/sssd.conf. Hit enter when your command matches what's on the screen. The configuration as shown on the screen is similar to what you would have in any Windows system that connects to the actual domain. Confirm all your settings. Make sure your domain realm is correct. Make sure that you're okay with the fact that you're joined to AD, the AD domain as gtsytd.local. If all of this looks correct to you, at that point, hit Control X to exit out. Finally, let's restart the control service for Active Directory integration with Kerberos on our Linux Mint system. To do that, it's simply sudo space systemctl space restart space sssd and hit enter. As you can see, if there are no additional dialog boxes, that means that the command completed successfully. While your machine is now on the domain, you're gonna have to make some changes before we reboot. The first one is we're going to enable the pam-authentication updater to interact with the local home directory of the system. This will allow you to create individual profiles on the system depending on who logs into the system. To do that, you're gonna type in sudo space pam-auth-update space -- enable space mkhomedir and hit enter. Then finally, we're going to modify the startup location. In Linux Mint, you are not able to switch between users easily to allow you to authenticate into your domain controller. As such, we're going to modify a configuration file giving us access to modify the startup screen. This will give us a location to enter in your username and password to log into the system. To do this, type in sudo space nano space /etc/lightdm/lightdm/conf.d/90 linuxmint.conf and hit enter. By default, this location is blank. You're going to enter in the following data. Enter in as shown on the screen. SeatDefaults, one word, in brackets, capital S, capital D. Underneath, enter in greeter, greeter, -show, -manual, -login, space equal space true. On the next line, enter in greeter, greeter, -hide, -users, space equal space true. On the following line, allow -guest, space equal space false. What this will allow you to do is enter in your username and password. It'll hide the previous user that logged into the system, and it'll disable the ability for guest accounts from Microsoft Windows to interact with your local desktop. Once you have the data entered as shown on the screen, hit Control X, type in Y to yes, save, and then hit enter to overwrite the data in the configuration file. At this point, reboot your system. Now, while we're waiting for the system to reboot on our Linux side, I figured it's important for us to go into Active Directory. By default, the computer will be added to the computer's location. However, in our case, I have a configured Linux desktop's location where we can see Minty Fresher, which is the name or host name of our Linux box. We could also see that I created an OU for users, which has a Minty user. We're going to use the Minty user to log into our Minty Fresher desktop. Figured just for transparency, we could right-click on Minty Fresher, choose Properties, and show the operating system showing as PC-Linux-GNU. Now, the reason why is because the system can't read the specific versions of the Linux operating systems. It's not like Windows, where we would see Windows 11 version with the Service Pack revision that we would see in a Windows-based environment. But this at least proves that this is that particular Linux box. This is our Linux splash screen for Linux Mint when we first go to log on. Now, you'll notice that I no longer have my actual account listed here. It listed as username. We have to define the domain when we log in here, or at least the NetBIOS name. So for mine, it's just GTS/Minty and hit enter. At this point, we could put the Minty account's password in and hit enter. And there you go. We are now on the domain with a domain account on our Linux Mint system. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of steps in order to get to this point. However, once you do this once or twice, you could create yourself a bash file for most of this and automate the process. Hopefully you guys find this one helpful and it's something that you could use in your day-to-day operations, especially since a lot of you have jumped ship from Windows 10 to now Linux. While I did this on Linux Mint, this same command function should work on Ubuntu, on Zorin OS, or anything that's really a Debian-based operating system. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. Thanks again for watching.